You were fortunate enough to be able to provide the response to the State of the Commonwealth address.
Yes.
Tell us how did that opportunity land to you?
Good question. I was, as you know, the Republican. I offered the Republican response to the governor's State of the Commonwealth address. Most people probably didn't see it, but it's similar to the more prominent when the president gives his State of the Union address. The party that's opposite of his gives a response. And so I had the opportunity to give the response from the House perspective, along with Senator Bell, who offered the Republican response from the Senate perspective. I was actually in Richmond. I got the call, I think, Monday or Tuesday before session started. I was here in Legislative Services upstairs working on my legislation, trying to get some of trying to get some of my loose ties, whatever, I can't think of the phrase, but I'm trying to get everything resolved with my bills. And the Speaker's Chief of Staff calls me up and says, "Hey, when are you coming to Richmond?" I said, "I'm here." And he's like, "Well, we'd like to have you do the State of the Commonwealth address." And I said, "Oh, I'd love to.
Sure.
What do I need to do?" And so we started working on the remarks at that point, and I spent a lot of time doing that. It was a big chunk of time that I didn't expect to take, but it was a great honor. It was a lot of fun, and I think that the leadership and the Speaker, in particular, selected me. I think because of the challenges that we face with land use. You know, in Prince William County, particularly in eastern Prince William County, growth and development is a huge problem. And myself, with Delegate Marshall and Delegate Athey, have really been leading the way with the caucus, with the House Republican caucus, and trying to do more to provide local governments with more tools to control growth, and better tying land use decisions to transportation decisions. We have this big disconnect now where the local government makes the decisions about how many homes we're going to build and where we're going to build them. But the state, through the Commonwealth Transportation Board, an appointed board by the governor, makes all the decisions as to where we're going to build the roads. And it's just a huge disconnect because you really need to be able to coordinate when we build the houses, are we going to have the roads to support it? And by extension, are we going to have the schools, and are we going to have the police and the fire departments and those sort of things? Big problem, and it extends, I think, to the larger problem of transportation, which in Northern Virginia, you know, it's a huge quality of life issue. Right. And you know, right now Virginia is working its transportation system off of a 75-year-old policy. The 1934
like the 30s
1934
right.
Byrd Road Act. That's transportation policy in Virginia, 2007, unfortunately. And so we've got to move forward, get us out of 1934 and into the 21st century with transportation. And that means funding transportation based on where the congestion is, not on necessarily divvying it up equally, but where do we have the biggest problems, where are the congested choke points, and then let's put let's target the money there, and let's produce some results. Let's measure VDOT based off of not how many projects it does on time and on budget, which is important, they should be doing anyway. Any small businessman can tell you that his goal in business isn't to do things on time, on budget. If he doesn't do that, he's out of business. But he has to produce something, has to do something with his business. He has to build widgets or whatever. And so VDOT's goal should be to reduce congestion. It should be measuring its success on the projects that it does. How much are those projects reducing or eliminating congestion? And then we need to, again, coordinate land use and transportation together. And I'm glad I worked with the governor last year. The governor's, as the Washington Post reports, his signature growth achievement of 2006 was actually my bill. And that was the coordination, that was the transportation impact studies. And what it says is that if a local government is about to make a rezoning decision about something, that VDOT needs to come in and provide that local government with a traffic impact analysis. And that traffic impact analysis will say, if you build these houses, this is going to be the impact on traffic. And last year, VDOT did a sort of a test case, a prototype case in preparation for implementing the law statewide with the Dulles South project in Loudoun County. And we saw the result of that, is that traffic impact study was provided to the local board of supervisors. And on top of that, it was provided to the media. And so the Post did a few stories on it. Got a lot of information out there about what this decision means to everybody, not just to those in Loudoun County and those near Dulles, but to the region. And it really had huge traffic impacts on Prince William County. And getting that information out there provided the information the public needed to to make sure that their local government officials knew what they felt about this project. And it basically prevented the project from moving forward. Right. And that's a positive development, because now we have the ability to tell the public and the local government and have everybody on the same page as to what the impacts of these decisions are going to be, and they can then make their decisions either what's the best decision for the local infrastructure, or they can make a decision that's not the best decision, and then the voters can hold those local government officials accountable at election time.
Sure.